Learning to play a steel pan is one thing, but there is a deeper connection that comes with learning how to manufacture the instrument as well. It's an art that requires precision, patience, and grit to bring it to life. Spending hours hammering away at what once was an old metal drum, looking for the magical steel pan that lies within it. The Panorific Steel Band and its members have bravely taken up this task of learning how to manufacture steel pans in Belize. Their director explained that as their membership grows, they are in need of more instruments, and the best way to procure them is by making the pans from scratch.
Seeing that there is the need, the band is expanding, it's growing, we always have a new intake of members every year, we realized that we needed more instruments, and they're very costly to buy them, from Trinidad where they're originally sourced. And so we decided to let's explore making the pans here. And so in collaboration with Niche, through their partnership and sponsorship, we were able to get this project off the ground formally. And so this year we started with the first phase of the program. There were 2 weeks just after the Easter break where 4 of our members started to learn the fundamentals in making steel pans. First sourcing the drums, and then from there going through all the initial stages in sinking the drum and marking them, all the different steps that it requires to get the drum to where they are when you see them being performed on. So that's how the program started. We will continue with a second phase in August. Mr. Henry will be returning for the second phase where he will go more in depth, getting into some pre-tuning of the drums. And then further along, probably sometime in next year, a couple of our members will be going to Antigua to work with Mr. Henry in his pan lab to get first-hand experience and to develop finer skills in making and tuning steel pans.
For the past few weeks, Director Burrows, along with 4 band members under the guidance of Vernon Henry from Pan Zone in Antigua and Barbuda, have immersed themselves into a steel pan making course.
Over the years, we find that we have members who have taken ownership of the program, of the band, and of the instruments that they play. They've developed that interest in wanting to know how to make the pans because they want their own pans, right? And so it's very tedious. The work is laborious. It's not for the weak. I've seen them blister their hands, hammer their fingers, so it's very tedious and time consuming. It is not something that you learn overnight or in a week or 2 weeks or even in a month. It takes years for somebody to master the skills in making and tuning steel pans. So this is a work in progress, a true work in progress.
And while the process is ongoing and they are expected to commence another cohort in the months to come, learning to make the pans has increased their familiarity with the instrument, learning how to understand and find the perfect sound within the pan.
I found an interest in it because steel pan isn't like any other instrument whereby you can make in a factory. No matter what you do, you have to do at least some part of it by hand. It wasn't easy, but I would say that I enjoyed the process because it entailed, a bunch of hammering, a lot of hammering. At some point, I felt like my arms were gonna fall off. But it is really interesting, and I enjoyed every step of the process, from the sinking to the smoothing to the, just the whole thing. If you hammer too hard, it could ruin the whole pan. And if you hammer too soft, it's gonna prolong the process. So I would say, and each individual pan, different pans go from the bass, the cello, double seconds, guitar, tenor, double tenor. Each of them has a different process. Although all of them are made out of the same drum, same oil drum, each of them has a different process.
Being able to play the pan also goes into a lot of the process of making one. You can understand why the notes need to be a certain way when you're making it, and then that translates over to when you're actually playing the pan. You can see the same process from playing to making, having some sort of correlation.
Would you say that a person has to have an ear to also know how to play and to make us?
I would have to say that because once you get to a certain part of the tuning, you do have to be able to understand what you're looking for, not just in the tuning, but as well as in the pan making. While you're shaping the actual pan and going further into the drum, you have to be able to know, okay, am I gonna rupture the pan? Is it safe? Is it still dense? Is it evened out? So both of them do correlate with each other.
If you learn how to play the pan, you know the basics about playing the pan. Like, you know, you need to be careful with some aspects of the pan, but when it comes to pan making the pan, you can play and learn how. If you can learn how to make it and play it, you can maintain your steel pan forever. Like, you can make a new one if you want. You could build one for others, and it's really important. If it would be nice if you could learn how to do both of them, because again, it's really hard to maintain a steel pan if you don't know what you're doing.
If the ratio of pan players to pan makers were even, we would see a new industry begin to emerge, one that would potentially save bands thousands of dollars in procuring steel pans.
This program is beneficial not only immediately to our band, but to Belize on a whole. Everybody who plays steel pan or any other band can in the future rely on these gentlemen who are doing the training to either tune their pans for them or build pans and grow the program among other schools in the country. So it's a very important development for us. If we can source them here, that would make it so much more cost effective and accessible, and that is what we need.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.